So as promised, I will introduce myself to you all since you all have been introducing yourselves to me and to each other. Again, I am Dr. Holmes. I'm your instructor for the summer session of Anatomy and Physiology. I have been teaching at MATC for the past 13 and a half. It'll be 14 years in the fall. I began teaching part-time biology courses and chemistry, and then soon after became full-time, which I've been doing for a majority of those almost 14 years. My background is in biology and chemistry, which is why I began teaching those courses. While I was part-time, I actually was a, second career student at MATC as I enrolled in the associate's degree program for nursing. Once I completed that, I transitioned to Marquette University for graduate school. I earned my master's as well as doctorate in nursing from Marquette. In addition to teaching at MATC, I also practice very part-time as a nurse practitioner. I practice in a primary care setting as well as a psychiatric setting. Things that I enjoy doing, I love to travel. So anytime I can get up and get out of the city, I do that. My dad is from Jamaica, so I try to get there at least once a year. Hopefully we'll be getting there sometime in the fall. In addition to that, I enjoy running. It's a good way to clear my mind and to have some sort of outlet as part of my own self-care. I did my first half marathon last year, was hoping to do a third, if you will, this year. I did the Milwaukee Marathon last year in addition to the Rock and Roll Chicago Half Marathon. But unfortunately with COVID-19, of course, many of the runs that were in the earlier part of this year have become virtual. So I did register for the Milwaukee Marathon. However, I have not completed the virtual run. So I kind of like being out in the crowd with the people as opposed to running on my own those 13.1 miles. So hopefully later in the fall, I will be registering for another race, whether it's a 10K or a half marathon. We'll see what happens there. What I want to say is, of course, everything is opening up, right? And MATC campus is still closed. I do just want to mention that the pandemic of COVID-19 is not over. So for those of us who may be essential workers and are still going out into the field to work amongst others, and or just those of us who decide to participate in some of those things that have reopened, such as restaurants and bars and so forth, just remember that the pandemic isn't over. COVID-19 is very serious. Many people have passed away from it. I do have a great uncle who passed away from it a couple of months ago. You want to make sure that you're still practicing the CDC recommended guidelines where you're wearing a mask, even though some businesses are saying it's optional. To be very important for you to continue to do that. Safe distancing or social distancing from others, as well as frequent hand washing. So I just want to make mention of that because, I mean, everything's opening up so that we can hopefully get to some sort of normalcy, although our lives may not be normal, at least for the next year or so. But you want to just keep in mind that we still have this pandemic going on. COVID-19 is still rampant, and there are individuals who are still testing positive for the virus. With that being said, I do want to make mention that seeing as how I'm a former MATC student, in addition to the amount of time that I have spent with the college, if you guys have any questions regarding your programs or courses or future courses, let me know. Of course, if I am unable to answer the question for you, I definitely will find someone who can answer those questions.